you can use them and they don't get hurt. And you're not replacing them. That's
Right.
I mean, because they are costly. I mean, the ones we use in the bikes are $600-700, and I mean they protect the batteries and protect your investment.
You know where I could see those also being good uses is like jet skis and golf
Sure.
carts and maybe like forerunners and shit like that you're not always on. You know what I mean? Those are things that are a jet ski's gonna sit there if you're not on it every day. So when you want to get it going, you put that battery on, you put it in the water, you shake it back and forth, and it goes, oh hey, let's go, and you're on running. I mean, I can see that being great
Absolutely.
in a lot of things. And a lot of the toys that you want to buy, you definitely want to put that lithium in there because they're going to sit. You're not going to play with a toy every day, you know?
Right. There's a ton of applications.
Well, that's a good question. Does salt water mess with that battery at all, or no? Do we know that
I'm not a
fact or no?
scientist.
I'm not either.
Do I look like a scientist?
Oh, I don't know that shit. So,
no,
anyways,
mine are, dude, I've got two underneath my rear fender of my bike, and I've got one underneath my Rider 30, that gray 30. So I mean that thing gets wet all the time. By the way, the saddlebag's fixed on that.
nice.
When it went to sleep in Daytona. Hey, that's it. You know, you got a good painter. When I dropped it off last Thursday, and he called me Monday. Hey, your saddlebag's fixed. I was like, sweet.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Is that when you found out in order to shake it, you didn't have to shake it that far to the left or that far to the right?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't have to shake it that far to the left.
You said, well, you gotta kick
Thanks,
these things over. You gotta kick them over in order for it to fire back up.
Yeah,
that's a little far.
I'm glad you got your shit fixed up, man.
Well, listen, I know we kissed a lot of ass with lithium battery here, but you know what? I really think what they're doing is awesome in this industry, and bringing a lot of stuff to help the rider. I mean, let's face it. Usually, everything's about all this stuff. It's like, well,
just giving credit to where it's due, man. Ain't nobody kissing ass. It's just, hey, this is a badass product. More people should use it. Look what it does, you know.
Listen, I wanted to talk about it on the show, and they're not even an advertiser. So again, it's something that I see, Urban Rides talking about, and I thought there was something great. But Robe, you got a lot going on here. So do we coming up here, and we're going to talk about some of the events.
Sure.
Let's see. I know we got this weekend. You said you have an audio show, and then we have Arcadia Bike Fest, which is a nice little show here in the middle of the state. Arcadia, small little sleepy town. Yeah, fun. They do a great. Usually that bike show gets 50, 60 bikes in it, so it's a lot of fun. But Bert's Arcadia Bike Fest, so we're down there. And then, I mean, it's just show season. I can't believe the shows that are coming. You got Tallahassee Bike Fest, right? Tallahassee Bike Fest is the second weekend, the 11th to the 14th. Right there. So that's a brand new event. Robe, you got to get down to this thing, man. Tallahassee is a really cool event. Definitely.
That's the one you're doing at the
third year.
What's the one that you're doing, that Quaker State, that bike festival thing you're doing?
Okay, that's the next weekend. No. This one's at the Appalachian Regional Park in Tallahassee, Florida. This is her third year. A girl named Giovanna is run with it. Started it off in like the artsy neighborhood, and that didn't work because it was nice, but they moved it to this park now, and they got, they made it a 4-day event, Thursday through Sunday. They got Twista playing, actually. You know who Twista is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually doing the after party. No, I said the same thing, and I was like, and that was awesome. I was like, there it is. Look at the Twista after party on Saturday the 13th. And I said, what's cool is it's not, the classic rock stuff that you see at every other event. This is, having Twista is like, okay, you can see that they're not going after the 70-year-old who wants to go see, AC/DC. Now, don't get me wrong. I love them. That's my bread and butter. But this is cool because, Twista performing, it's going to be pretty neat, and it's in Tallahassee.
Well, that's kind of that's kind of the genre of bikes that we do. It's like that's the kind of music that a lot of honestly, the audio bikes, the big wheels, and some of that stuff. That's kind of the we list everything, but that's what you'll hear more of that genre in the competition stuff. So that sounds like a fun time.
That's what I'm saying. I think you need to really look at this Tallahassee one. That's going to be the second weekend in April. And then the next weekend, April 19, 20, and 21, is the Florida Motorcycle Expo, of course. That's the one we're putting on at Quaker Steak and Lube in Clearwater. We have over 150 vendors. I think we have like 30 spaces left available. We're doing a bike show. We give away $100 an hour, bikini contest. It's a lot of fun. We did it at Quaker for a very long time. Then we moved it across the street to OCC when they were getting built. Well, OCC and Birch Barracuda. And then we took some years off for COVID, and now it's coming back. And we're kind of just bringing it back on a slower scale. We used to bring in bands like, we brought in, oh man, huge bands before. And again, not this year.
But one point over there and a couple. I remember you guys had big bands. I went to it the one year when it was over when you guys had it at Burt's.
Yeah, we brought in Daughtry. Yeah, we brought in Daughtry, and we brought in Uncle Cracker.
That's
and
Yep, that's
that was a hell of a year, man. That was a lot of fun. We had a tornado come through and try and wreck our shit, but you can't help weather. You just kind of put it on and make it happen. So, and then that happened in 19, so the end of 19 or early 20, and then right after that COVID hit, so we were in Daytona, and then they shut everything down, and it was kind of those years that we were doing that. But we were talking, Roby, too, about a lot of stuff. What do you have coming up? And then let's discuss this whole East Coast, West Coast audio, stuff like that.
Sure. Well, let's see. We've got, like I said, I've got the show in Sylacauga this weekend. I'm going there to, I got some advertisers there. I'm going there to support them. I've got Soundwars and Rusty's Garage, and they're doing the Backstreet Rumble. So it's going to be fun. That's in Sylacauga, Alabama. But then in a couple weeks, I get to see my good friend Tony from Full Throttle Magazine, because we'll be in Panama City Beach. I actually get there on Sunday because I kind of organize the Crossroads area there. Make sure that we've all got places for our bike shows, because we do this year. It's going to be 7 shows in 4 days. So we did add a show on Wednesday. So there's going to be a chopper and tail show, chopper and softail show on
I think
Wednesday.
John, I sent you all these if you want to bring them up. I know I sent them to you in the messenger. So if we want to bring those up.